Hi, I'm John from the Landlord Protection Agency. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if you saw my last video about lease clauses, for which I'm very thankful. But here's another lease clause that I'm very thankful for, and that is renter's insurance. Do you have renter's insurance in your lease agreement? Well, if you don't, you should. And if you do, it's very important to understand that clause and how it relates to the tenant. First of all, you know that renter's insurance does not cover the real estate. Your insurance on the property covers the real estate. The renter's insurance only covers the stuff the tenant owns, and it covers some other things too. Years ago, as a real estate broker, I was sitting in my office and a guy and three little girls showed up in a station wagon. Their house burned down and they didn't have renter's insurance, so they were living in a station wagon. Now, I knew that if he had renter's insurance, he could have stayed in a top quality hotel, and the renter's insurance would have paid for a new house rental for him to move into, and it would have replaced all their clothing and lost items from the fire. But they didn't have renter's insurance. And to have the renter's insurance for the house rental that burned down for these people, it would have cost them at the time about $80 a year. $80 a year. What's that come out to per month? Not much, right? And he could have had it. He could have been covered for that. They could have had all new stuff and a nice place to live, all paid for by the insurance company. So I try to explain this to people that are coming in, why it's so important and inexpensive to have renter's insurance. Now, also from the landlord's point of view, the renter's insurance is a key item in your lease agreement. Very, very important liability-wise that you make sure there is renter's insurance covering the tenant. It also is a very big benefit for the landlord because the renter's insurance prevents the tenant from going after the landlord for losses. That's what the insurance is for, to protect the tenant. It doesn't cover the property, but it covers the tenant's stuff. By the way, I'm John from the Landlord Protection Agency, landlordprotectionagency.com. I've got a lot of good free stuff. We've got lease forms with the renter's insurance clause in it, and all the enforcement forms you can ever want to keep your tenancies going smoothly. Join me on the Landlord Protection Agency website. I've been doing landlording for many, many years, going on 37 years, and the Landlord Protection Agency website is in existence coming on to 17 years, serving landlords all over the United States and Canada and all over the world. We've got members in all English-speaking countries just about. So it's something that you want if you don't already have it. You need that protection if you're a landlord, especially if you're getting started. You can avoid a lot of the mistakes that I've fallen into, and many of us fall into these landlord traps. And that's why our lease is specially designed by attorneys and landlords to be the most powerful landlord protection document you can have. Doesn't that sound good? But it's true. You want the LPA lease on your side. So, back to the renter's insurance. Who do you think the tenant is going after if they experience a loss? The roof leaks, their couch gets damaged and it's a total loss, or there's a fire and they lose all their stuff and they have a lot of damages. Your insurance is not going to cover them. It will cover the structure, the real estate, but it won't cover the tenant's clothing or furniture or other items. So the tenant's renter's insurance will. Now, I told you how inexpensive that is. You know, it's very inexpensive and it's worth it. It can be obtained from Geico, Esurance, Progressive, Allstate. All the main insurance companies have renter's insurance. If they have car insurance, they have renter's insurance. So I think you want to make sure that's in your lease agreement for your protection and the tenant's protection. So join me on the Landlord Protection Agency to get your own copy of the LPA lease. Better yet, get an LPA membership where you get all the forms included at no extra charge, and the ability to report on tenants' credit reports, the discounted credit reports for tenant screening, and all the tools you need to be an efficient landlord. I hope you found value in this. Thank you again for joining me with my landlord protection video. Tomorrow, let's see what we're going to have. The no smoking clause. Do you allow smoking? Well, we'll talk about the no smoking clause in the lease tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.